And the Indian Sports Network is on the air. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Kenny Masterson coming to you live from Elsberry Corey League Field. And we are here this afternoon to see the hometown Elsberry Lady Indians varsity softball. They'll be taking on the visiting Van Far varsity softball. They are also the Lady Indians. And that's who's going to be playing today, and that's who we'll be watching. And so it looks like the game's going to be starting in about another 15 minutes or so. If they start right on time, it's not unusual for them to start a little bit early. But Van Far just a couple of minutes ago, went out onto the field for practice, so I forgot how long they have out there. But I see the umpires are up at the concession stand. And so when they come down and have a little conference and everything, we'll be ready to go. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get the pregame show started. The People's Bank and Trust pregame show.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that. But when it comes to your money, wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
All right, today's game. Like I said, Van Far versus Elsberry. Van Far, I forgot to ask the coach before the game, but on the computer they were just showing a 1-1 record, and looks like they beat Louisiana and lost to. I don't remember now who they lost to. I don't have it right in front of me. But either way, it's showing them 1-1, so I don't know if that computer is up to date or not. Elsberry, on the other hand, is 5-2, coming off of a win last night. A very precarious 2-1 win over a very good Fort Zumwalt East Lady Lions team. And that game came down to the very last out on a very close call at first base. That had she been called safe, then that game would have been tied on that play right there. They had a run come in, but she was called out, and it was an extremely close play at first. But that's the way the umpire called it, and that's the way we'll take it. And so anyway, let's see. The records that I have is showing the last 14 games between Van Far and Elsberry they are 7-7 against each other. Right now the streak is 7 losses in a row for Elsberry. They won the first 7 games, and then they've lost the last 7 games. Last game was on the 17th of September last year. That was in Van Far, and they lost it 11-1. I remember that game quite well. But naturally, with this being high school, we got different players and everything, although Elsberry doesn't. Elsberry brought back every one of their players. And so last year's juniors are now seniors, another year of experience. And really don't know how many Van Far lost. But I can tell you right now that through those 2 games, Van Far is allowing 6.5 runs per game average, and they're scoring 7.5 runs per game on average. Whereas right now in 7 games, Elsberry is allowing 4.2 runs per game, and they are scoring 8.8 runs per game. So in that, just looking at percentage numbers and everything, which I guess you can do that. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but you can definitely look at them. Elsberry's looking a little better on offense and defense, but that's why they play the game, because it's not done on paper. So looks like the umpires are here now, and I guess they're going over to get their glasses, and and um, so um, they're getting ready to get this going here. Looks like we have another almost 12 minutes till the game is scheduled to start, but like I said, they like to start them early. So let's go ahead and go through the lineups here. And in the starting lineup tonight, playing for Van Far, visiting Van Far Lady Indians, we have leading off for them is number 10, Devin Keller. She is the pitcher. Number 12, Madeleine Caldwell. She's the shortstop. Batting third, number 14, Haley Baskett, designated player. Batting fourth, Madeline Ingram, number 6. She is right field. Number 2, Haley Lowry. She's center field. Number 3, Annalyn Caldwell, and she plays second base. Number 11, Rebecca Moore. She is the first base. Number 29, Trinity Hull, and she is the catcher. Number 9, Madeleine Caldwell, and she is left field. And number 8, Carmen Wilburn. She's a flex player, and she'll be playing third base. And a whole list of substitutes here, but I'm not going to go over them because that also includes the regular players. So I'm not going to go over them until they come into the game. All right. For the hometown Elsberry Lady Indians, the lineup tonight is number 1, Tyra Henderson, and she is at third base. Number 16, Mackenzie Gladney, catching. Number 15, Kylie Kinsler, pitching. Number 20, Kelsey Plaster, left field. Number 19, Morgan Jones, first base. Number 3, Peyton Robinson, shortstop. Number 18, Taylor Mooney, designated player. Number 11, Addison Steele, right field. Number 14, Abby Jenkins, second place. And number 2, Tanisha Henderson, flex player and center field. And so that is the starting lineups for both teams. And let's give a few stats here, see how the leading batters are playing for Elsberry. Tyra Henderson is leading all the batters with a 440 average. Then Mackenzie Gladney with a 429 average. Kylie Kinsler with a 400 average. Kelsey Plaster with a 381 average. And Neosha Henderson with the 400 average. That's your top 5 batters. These games, like I said, they're 5-2 on the season. The 5 games that they played, that they won, with the exception of last night. I mean, they got some timely hits last night, but one of the big things on last night was defense. They were able to hold the Lady Lions to, I believe, just 4 hits. Of course, they were timely hits for them too, but their defense, I think, won that game. But the other games that they've won, they've just torn them up on the bats. You know, high-scoring games, just come in and hit after hit after hit. And then the 2 games that they lost was the exact opposite. They just couldn't get any hits at all, just strikeout after strikeout. So, you know, definitely a tale of 2 teams so far in this season, where they, you know, if they're getting hits, they can win the game. If they're not getting hits, then they're not doing anything. So let's hope they get some hits tonight. And I told some of the team before the game started, I said, we need a few more runs in this game. That's a little too nerve-wracking last night, going into the top of the 7th inning, 2-1, and them getting runners on second and third with just 1 out, and some of their better hitters coming up. And like I said, very, very close play at first. But that's the way it is in the game of softball. You know, it's a matter of inches, and she was called out, and I think it was less than inches. I mean, it was about as close as you're going to get. Um, but anyway, we're about 7 minutes away from the beginning of this game, so let's go ahead and get a couple more commercials in here before we start this game.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Missouri. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. These days, the concept of value matters more than ever, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay. Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
Ever wonder where your hard-earned money goes when you deposit it? It stays here, at home, to help make living here what we've all come to expect. We've got everything the mega banks do, but we've made a commitment to our community. So when you're looking for the right bank, see People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker at our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about. We all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Okay, and the Elsberry Lady Indians have taken the field. They are awaiting the first batter from the Van Far Lady Indians. And Kylie Kinsler is going to take a few warm-up pitches. She's been warming up over here on the side. And I've been watching her warm up. I've also been watching the rest of the team warm up. And I don't know, a few comments here on what I was seeing. I don't like to pick one over the others, but they were looking pretty decent. Let's just see if they can translate that into their game. So, leading off for Van Far tonight is number 10, Devin Keller. She is their pitcher. She'll be batting from the right side. So Kylie Kinsler looking in to get some signs, and she is ready to start this game. First pitch is a foul tip back behind, a strike one. And there's a hard hit ball into center field, and Tanisha Henderson right there to get it. One out. Solid hit on that ball, though. Brings up Madeleine Caldwell, number 12. She's the shortstop with one out. Little dribbler to third base. Tyra Henderson picks it up, throws it over to Morgan Jones, and two outs. Brings up number 14, Haley Baskett, designated player. Some of these names I remember from their basketball teams. That's what I like about these small schools. You can see these same players over and over. Ball hit to third base. Tyra picks it up, throws it over to Morgan, and just like that, it is a 1-2-3 inning. So at the end of one half of an inning, there is no score.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
All right, we are back for the bottom half of the first inning. Van Far failed to score in their half. See if Elsberry can get anything going to start this game off. Number one. Let's see. Hang on. What am I saying here? It's number 9, Tyra Henderson. I don't know why I have number 1 up here. I know better than that. Yeah, don't know what I was thinking when I was writing this down. It's not number 1, Tyra Henderson. It's number 9, Tyra Henderson. Third base, and she'll be leading off for Elsberry. And right now, like I said before earlier, Tyra Henderson is the leading hitter she's the leading batter for Elsberry. She's had 25 plate appearances, 25 at-bats with a .440 batting average. She's got 11 hits, 9 of those were singles and 2 doubles. She's also got 3 RBIs, and she scored 7 times herself. So Devin Keller is the pitcher for Van Far, and she's getting ready to start her half of the inning. There's ball 1. I'm not keeping track of the exact number of pitches, but I think Kylie Kinsler only threw like 4 or 5 pitches in that first inning. There is strike 1. One ball, 1 strike on the leadoff batter. Foul ball off to the right side, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Doesn't look like we have a scoreboard going today. Okay, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tyra Henderson. 2-2, evens up the count. That was a changeup. That was sort of a fast, slow pitch. And that was a foul ball. That must have hit inside the batter's box first, because it rolled forward. So the count remains 2-2. There is ball 3. Full count, 3-2. So Keller's already thrown more pitches to Tyra Henderson than Kylie Kinsler had to throw in the entire first inning. Ball hit the shortstop, picks it up, throws it over, and it's off. That throw was offline, and so Tyra Henderson is on at first. Leadoff hit for Elsberry brings up Mackenzie Gladney, the catcher. Number 16, Mackenzie Gladney. There's a call strike for the first pitch. Mackenzie Gladney is the number 2 batter for Elsberry, and she has a .429 batting average with 9 hits. Seven of those are singles. Ball one, strike one. And Tyra Henderson is down there taking some pretty good steps off of base with the pitch. She's making them nervous. And she is off, and she is in there safe. So Tyra Henderson with a stolen base. And by the way, that last pitch was a ball, so 2 balls and 1 strike to Mackenzie Gladney. Hard hit ball out into left field, and it is snagged up, and Tyra has to go back to second. So hard hit fly ball, but it is an out. Brings up number 15, Kylie Kinsler. Kinsler is batting .400 this year so far with 8 hits. Ball outside. One ball, no strikes on Kylie Kinsler. And there is our call, strike one. Up the middle. And that is going to score Tyra Henderson. And in the meantime, Kylie Kinsler goes to second. So that makes the score 1-0 with 1 out. Brings up Kelsey Flaster. Call strike one on Kelsey Plaster. Plaster is batting .381 so far this year. There's a little blooper. Third base cannot get it. And Kelsey Plaster is on. Kylie Kinsler wisely stayed at second base. She could have maybe made it, but she thought that ball was going to be caught. So Kylie Kinsler's down on first, and Kelsey Plaster's on second, and Morgan Jones is batting with one out. Ball one. And there is ball two. Jones is batting .350 this year. There's ball three. 3 balls, no strikes on Jones. Plaster on first and Kinsler on second. One out. Bottom of the first. There's a call strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. And base on balls. We have a loaded bases right now. Brings up Peyton Robinson. With 1 out, bases loaded. 1 run is already in. Peyton Robinson's batting .238. She's got 5 hits. Ball 1. Call strike 1. There's call strike 2. Peyton Robinson out there with her patented hair bow. Hard hit ball out into left field. And it is a home run. That, folks, is called a grand slam. Hang on, they only put 4 up. Weren't the bases loaded? 5. Yeah, that I was thinking the bases were loaded. That was a grand slam, so that makes the score 5-0. It kind of confused me a little bit, so I kind of lost my train of thought. Meanwhile, here comes Taylor Mooney. Hard hit ball to center field and right to the center fielder. So that makes 2 outs. We now have Addison Steele, number 11. She's the right fielder. And she is up. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Two outs, nobody on right now. Bases were cleared by Peyton Robinson with the grand slam home run. Foul tip. I think she was trying to attack me with that. Remains 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. So that is 3 outs, and Elsberry's jumped out early to a 5-0 lead. Tyra Henderson came in and scored early, and then they managed to get the bases loaded with Kylie Kinsler, Kelsey Flaster, and Morgan Jones. And Peyton Robinson came up and just said, okay, I'm done messing around. I'm putting that ball out into left field over the fence, and that's what she did. So, the end of one inning. Elsberry 5, Van Far 0.
People's Bank and Trust knows that every minute of your day counts, so it's good to have a few time savers on your side. Take internet banking, for example. It allows you to bank from home rather than having to make an extra trip to the bank just to check your balance, transfer funds, or view recent transactions. You can even pay your bills online, eliminating a trip to the post office for stamps. Best of all, People's Bank and Trust offers all of this free of charge. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net and sign up today. Just another example of hometown banking the way it should be. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, leading off for Van Far is number 6, Madeleine Ingram, right field. There's a ball just a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. Foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kind of a hazy night tonight. I'm not sure how much of it's smoke and how much of it might be some just atmospheric conditions besides smoke. Ball hit second base, and she kind of bobbles a little bit. It was off to her right. So leadoff batter, Madeleine Ingram, is on. Brings up Haley Lowry, number 2, their center field. Ball high. Ball 2. Van Far with their first base runner of the night. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes on Haley Lowry. Ball 4. 4 straight pitches. So Van Far with runners on first and second brings up Madeleine Caldwell. Ball high. That's 5 straight balls thrown by Kinsler. Ball 2. There's a call strike. 2 balls, 1 strike on Madeleine Caldwell. Nobody out, 2 runners on. There's a second call strike. Evens up the count at 2-2. We are in the top of the second inning. Score is 5-0 Elsberry. Ball hit to second base, over to second, and on to first for a double play. So Van Far has 1 runner now on third base. That is Madeline Ingram. And Rebecca Moore is up to bat now. Ball came skipping in, but Gladney did a good job of getting in front of it. So ball 1 to Rebecca Moore. She's their first base. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That ball was a little bit low, and Moore swung over it. Foul ball, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 runner on third. Top of the second inning. Kinsler doesn't have quite the control over the pitches like she had last night. There was a call, strike 3. I guess I said that just a little bit too soon. So, Van Far threatened, but they weren't able to come up with it. They had 2 runners on, but Elsberry turned to double play, and they stranded 1 runner at third base. And so here we go into the bottom of the second inning. The score is still 5-0 Elsberry.
Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
All right, we are back, and we are going to see Abby Jenkins walking up to the plate right now. Get my iPad back. It decided to go out on me. Man. There we go. Jenkins is batting .368 this year. She squares up to bunt and bunts it foul, strike 1. Ball 1. Ball 2, low. 2 balls, 1 strike on leadoff batter Abby Jenkins. Ball hit to third base. throw over to first, and she is out. So with one out, Tyra Henderson comes up to bat. Top of the lineup. Top of the batting order. Top of the something. It's not the top of the inning. It's the bottom of the inning. Top of the lineup and the bottom of the inning. Tyra had hit her first time up and stole second and eventually came around and scored. She takes strike one there, called. And there was a call strike two. That was a pretty pitch. That ball just came floating in there. That ball looked like a beach ball coming in. And that was ball one. Ball two, evens count, 2-2. Okay, full count at 3-2. So Tyra Henderson working this at bat. High fly ball into right field. She is under it and has it. So with 2 outs, Mackenzie Gladney is up. She flew out to left field her first time up in the first inning. Nobody on. 2 outs. 5-0 is the score in the bottom of the second. Ball one. Gets away from the catcher, comes back here to the fence, but nobody's on, so it doesn't matter. That catcher is Trinity Hull. Ball one on Gladney. Hard hit ball right to the shortstop. Throw over to first, and the Elsberry Lady Indians are down 1-2-3 in the second inning. It was a 6-3 putout. So at the end of 2 full innings, score is still Elsberry 5, Van Far 0.
Hey, hon, what are you doing up so early?
Oh, I'm just getting ready to take care of some stuff with the bank.
The bank? I surely hope you're going to get dressed first. You'd get some pretty weird looks showing up in your robe and fuzzy slippers.
I'm not going to the bank. I'm doing it all right here from home using People's Bank and Trust online banking and bill pay service. I can check our account balances, transfer money, make a loan payment, and even pay bills, all from the comfort of my pajamas. Best of all, it's free.
Banking in your pajamas. Now, if we could only get the grocery store to deliver.
Start banking online today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
All right, as Elsberry Lady Indians take the field for the third inning. Kylie throws one pitch, and the ball thrown down to second base. And I like the way these ladies come together in the infield for a show of unity. And we're going to be bringing up Trinity Hull to bat. She is their catcher. All right. Kinsler looks in to pitch. There's a call, strike one. That pitch right there is one of Kinsler's patented pitches. When she gets that ball in there, it's a strike. Ball one. That was not one of them. She didn't get that one in there. And it wasn't a strike. Starting to see that smile from Kinsler. And there is a foul ball, but Morgan Jones is under it and has it. Brings up number 9, Madeleine Caldwell, left field. Ball a little bit low. There's a foul ball back behind us. Ball one, strike one. Ball hit to third. Tyra gobbles it up, throws it over to Jones for the second out. All right, with 2 outs, brings up the top of the lineup again in number 10, Devin Keller, their pitcher. Hard hit ball out into left field, and Kelsey Flaster's right there, didn't even think about it. So 1-2-3 inning. And that brings up the bottom of the third inning with the score still Elsberry 5 and Van Far 0.
The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how history will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our communities for tomorrow. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
All right, we are back for the bottom of the third inning. And coming up for Elsberry in this inning is going to be Kylie Kinsler, Kelsey Flaster, and Morgan Jones. And if any of them get anything going, number 3, Peyton Robinson, who thrilled us last inning, or I should say in the first inning, with a grand slam home run. This isn't exactly this Elsberry team isn't exactly a home run hitting team to begin with. And then we were fortunate enough to see a grand slam home run. So Kylie Kinsler's up. She scored in the first inning when Peyton Robinson hit the grand slam. She was on third base. She was the first one to be able to cross the plate. Little dribbler back to the pitcher. She picks it up, throws over to first, and barely gets her, but they do. So a 1-3 put out on Kylie Kinsler. So with 1 out, Kelsey Flaster's up to bat. Flaster in this game is the only left-handed batter for Elsberry. Tyra Henderson bats left-handed sometimes. She was batting right-handed yesterday. High pop-up. Pitcher has it. So with 2 outs, Morgan Jones is up. She walked her first time up. Came around and scored on that grand slam. Ball low. There's a call, strike one. Little popper right to first base, and that is out number 3. So, 1-2-3 inning. All 3 batters got the ball into play, but nothing doing. And that brings up the top of the 4th inning with the score Elsberry 5, Van Far 0.
You're listening to the Indian Sports Network, courtesy of the Elsberry Democrat. Log on to www.elsberrydemocrat.com today.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
All right, Kinsler ready to pitch. We had number 12, Madeleine Caldwell, shortstop, is up. She ground out to third base her first time up. Ball high. Here we are in the top of the 4th inning. Ball low, gets past Gladney. Again, nobody's on base, so no harm done. High fly ball into second base, just out of the infield. Abby Jenkins over there to grab that. And that is, I put that on the wrong one. One of these days I'm going to learn how to score these things. That was Madeleine Caldwell with the first out. Number 14, Haley Basket, designated player, is up to bat with 1 out. Call, strike one. Foul ball down the first base line. Hard hit ball, but it was foul. That is strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the second out. Brings up number 6, Madeline Ingram, the right fielder. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 5th inning. Score is 5-0 Elsberry over Van Far. Call, strike 1. High fly ball, and who's going to get it? Jones is there for the catch. And that is out number 3. So we've gone through the top half of the 4th inning, and the score remains 5-0 Elsberry over Van Far.
People's Bank and Trust invites everyone to come to the game, the high school sports games that are going on right now. All area teams have put a great amount of effort and time in to perfect their skills, and they are ready to play. Support the community schools and students by cheering them on to a great season of games. People's Bank and Trust proudly supports the area teams and looks forward to seeing you at each and every game.
All right. Coming up in the bottom of the fourth inning is going to be Peyton Robinson, Taylor Mooney, and Addison Steele. Anybody gets on, Abby Jenkins has a chance to get them around. Leading off in this inning is Peyton Robinson. Got a feeling she's not going to be able to top what she did in the first inning. Got this little thing called a grand slam home run. It's going to be hard to do since she's leading off. In the history of softball, not too many leadoff batters have hit grand slams. Ball one. High fly ball. Shortstop is over just in fair territory and has it. That is now Taylor Mooney coming up with one out. Little popper drops down in front of second base, a little flip over to first, and she is out. So a 4-3 put out for the second out of the inning. Brings up Addison Steele. Addison struck out her first time up. Hard hit ball down the third base line, out of play. She needs to straighten that one out. That was a long, hard strike one. Swing and a miss, strike two. Swing and a miss, strike three, and the ball gets away from the catcher, and she is on first. So with two outs, Steele is on first base, and Abby Jenkins is up to bat. Jenkins grounded out to second base her first time up. Ball gets away, and Steele is on her way to second. That was a wild pitch. And Steele is on her way to second with a wild pitch. That's ball one on Jenkins. Foul ball down the first base line, strike one. Ball high and outside. Good job there by the catcher to bring that one in. Was that the catcher's name? Trinity Hull. She's doing a good job there. Ball hit to short. She bobbles the ball, cannot pick it up. And Abby Jenkins is on first, and Addison Steele is on third. And that brings up Tyra Henderson with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Two outs is just as good a time to get runs as 0 outs or 1 out. Those runs all count the same, no matter how many outs there are. And Abby Jenkins is on her way to second base. I think the ball hit her. I'm not sure. I think it hit off of her leg. But anyway, she's into second base. So here's the pitch to. There's a call strike. We have 1-1 on Tyra Henderson. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning. Ball came skipping in. It hit the ground about 10 feet out from home plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. First base is open. Mackenzie Gladney on deck. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 runners on. They're on second and third. Ball 4. Tyra Henderson is on base. Brings up Mackenzie Gladney. She flied out to left field her first time up and grounded out to the shortstop her second time up. Now she's up with the bases loaded. Last time Elsberry had the bases loaded, the ball went over the fence. Let's see what can happen this time. Ball outside. Ball 2. Tyra Henderson on first. Abby Jenkins on second. Addison Steele on third. Mackenzie Gladney up to bat. There's a ball 3. Okay. There's no bases open. 3 balls, no strikes on Gladney. Ball 4, and it gets away, but it doesn't matter. That scores Addison Steele. Six to nothing Elsberry. Base is still loaded. Kylie Kinsler up to bat. Addison Steele with that run. Okay, Kylie Kinsler up. 2 outs. All 3 bases filled up. Kinsler to bat. Ball 1. Kinsler had a double her first time up and a ground out to the pitcher her last time up. There's a call strike. Ball hit back to the pitcher, gets through the pitcher and short. 1 run is in, 2 runs are in. So Kylie Kinsler with a 2-run base hit. That brings Kelsey Flaster up to bat. And Kinsler unopposed going into second. And we have Lily Steele on running for Mackenzie Gladney. I forgot to mention that earlier. There's a 1-1 on Flaster. Still 2 outs. Well, I guess there would still be 2 outs. They don't take them away. Ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a little dribbler to second base. She picks it up, throws it over to first, and that is out number 3. 4-3 put out. But Elsberry took advantage of some walks and some timely hitting, and they scored 3 more runs. So as we go into the top of the 5th inning, the score is now 8-0 Elsberry over Van Far.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we can teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
Okay, coming up in the top of the 5th inning for Van Far is number 2, Haley Lowry, center field. Let's see how, going into the 5th inning, let's see how Kinsler is pitching now. She's kind of settled in a little bit, had a little bit of pitching in the 2nd inning, but she's settled in since then. First pitch was a foul ball, strike 1. Ball 1. And Kinsler's got 2 strikeouts so far in this game. There's a call, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball 2. Counts even at 2-2. There is a call, strike 3 for the first out of the 5th inning. Brings up Madeleine Caldwell, second base. She hit into a double play her first time up in the 2nd inning. Ball 1. Hit the ball to third base, picked it up. Tyra Henderson over to Morgan Jones for out number 2. Brings up number 11, Rebecca Moore. She's their first base. With nobody on and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Score is 8-0, Elsberry over Van Far. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Rebecca Moore struck out watching her first time up. Ball high. Gets away from, a little high and gets away from Gladney, but again, no base runners, no harm done. Foul ball over into the right side, out of play. Strike 2. Again, a nice cool evening here in Elsberry. Ball 2, evens the count, 2-2. No wind whatsoever, but it's nice temperature and very hazy. Another foul ball. Remains 2-2. Foul tip straight back. Still 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning, 8-0 Elsberry over Van Far. The line drive foul ball on the first base side, still 2-2. If it's going to stay 2-2, I can just put my scorebook and my pen down. Nothing's going to change. Ball 3. Okay, we have a full count, 3-2 with 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning. All the lights on the scoreboard are lit. Batter kept it alive with a foul tip. That's Rebecca Moore, first base. Little dribbler to shortstop. Robinson picks it up and gets it out quickly to Morgan Jones. Out number 3, 6-3 put out. And so every inning except the second has been a 1-2-3 inning. And they only had 4 batters in the second inning because a double play was thrown. So halfway through the 5th inning, we have a score of Elsberry 8, Van Far 0.
You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker. At our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about, we all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
All right. Leading off for Elsberry this inning, number 19, Morgan Jones. She's leading off. Peyton Robinson following her, then Taylor Mooney. And if anybody gets on, Addison Steele is up at bat. Morgan Jones has walked and flied out to first. Ball one. Little dribbler foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball 3. Hard hit ball into center field, and she's right there with it. So 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brings up Peyton Robinson. Ball high. Ground ball to short. Ball is bobbled, and she cannot get it over to first base in time, and Robinson is on with the 1 out. Brings up Taylor Mooney. She flied out to center her first time up, ground out to second base her second time up. Ball hit to shortstop, and the throw is over there, not in time. Now the throw to third, and gets away. And Peyton Robinson did not go from third. Don't know whether she should have made it or not, but either way, Taylor Mooney's on second. Peyton Robinson's on third. So runners on second and third. And Addison Steele is up to bat. Still just 1 out. High fly ball out into center field. Ball is caught. The throw is to home. And the ball is dropped, so Peyton Robinson is safe. Taylor Mooney runs on over to third. And that makes the score 9-0. So another run for Elsberry here in the bottom of the 9th. So we have Abby Jenkins up to bat now, with Taylor Mooney on third. Hard hit ball. It's going to drop in for a hit, and Taylor Mooney scores. Abby Jenkins is on base with a base hit. And that, my friends, is the end of the game. That is the 10-run differential. They take me by surprise every time on that. But I'm starting to get used to being surprised. I'm no longer surprised at being surprised. But that is the final score, 10-0. Elsberry over Van Far, and this is the first time in 7 years, or actually first time in 8 years, in 8 games, I should say, not years, 8 games that Elsberry has beat Van Far. So congratulations, Elsberry. And so, once again, 10-0 is your score. And a lot of good timely hits tonight. It helped. Van Far had a couple little bobbles out there in the field. That always helps. But this is high school softball, not professional. So you can't expect them to be playing perfect every time. Elsberry had their own little bobbles out there from game to game. And so that evens out. But one of the things that was that impressed me throughout this game was, with the exception of the second inning, Kylie Kinsler was right on pitching. And second inning, I mean, obviously she didn't do bad. They didn't score any runs, but she did allow a walk in the second inning. But let's see, Madeleine Ingram had a hit, and there was one walk, and that, folks, was it. That was a one-hit game. One-hit game, one walk. Kinsler had 1, 2, 3 strikeouts. Otherwise, the ball was put into play, and defense took over. They did have, let's see, Van Far had one runner on third base, and that was as far as they got. So good job all the way around for Elsberry. And I don't have it to where I can come up with all the hits that Elsberry had. But they had a bunch, and the highlight of the game was the grand slam home run by Peyton Robinson. And that scored 4 runs by itself in the first inning. And that was her second home run of the season. She had one, I think her first one was an inside the park home run. Once again, just a good all-around game for Elsberry. They showed every facet of their game was good, and they just need to keep this up throughout the entire season. And they're going to go a long ways. They're going to go deep into the postseason if they keep playing like this. So, anyway, we are done here tonight. I don't know when the Clopton game is going to be made up, or not made up. I don't know when they're going to continue that game. But when they do, we'll try to be there to cover it. The next game is Thursday at North Callaway, and we'll just have to see about that game. And then we got games next week. Plan to be at Clopton Friday night for the football game. And so if you're enjoying the sports, then stick around. You're going to see a bunch of them. And tonight we saw a good game from your Elsberry Lady Indians. So for the Indian Sports Network, this is Kenny Masterson saying good night to you from Elsberry Corey League Field. And until the next game that I cover, goodbye, everybody.